From time to time here on Israeli Salad, we take you to meet a community in Israel. Today we're off to the desert, where we visit the community of Alon. Welcome to the community of Alon, situated on the hilltops of the Judean desert.
We are in the middle of the desert, as you can see. When you come down from the tremendous heights of Jerusalem, there's a lot of tension. Here in the country land, we can connect perhaps to the natural beauty and realize that that's more important, to stay together than to keep fighting. And we try to leave that all behind and live together in harmony.
Living together in harmony is what Alon is all about. It's one of the unique places in Israel where observant and non-observant Jews decided, through ideology, to establish a community together.
People said it couldn't be done to bridge the divide between the religious and secular. And here we're doing it already 17 years. That which brings us together is much larger than all the different small things which people think are unsurmountable difficulties. They said the secular, they have to drive on Shabbos, and they have to have their disco parties, and the religious, they want to have their shul at the center of things. But we've learned that with a lot of mutual respect, there's enough room and the ability to have the best for everybody. And what brings us together is the desire to create a community, to give good education to our children, to bring up wonderful children that are connected to the people and to the land. And thank God we've had tremendous success. As you know, to Jews, there's always three opinions. So here we have over 140 families. So we have quite a lot of discussions. But in the end, we've realized that if we want to build something, we have to stick together.
The rabbi of Alon even put together a special prayer book for the high holidays, which combines many styles, Ashkenazic and Sephardic, aimed at connecting everyone to the prayers.
We are only one people, and we try to teach this to our children, and for them, they grow up and it's a natural thing. And for them, Sephardi, Ashkenazi, the main thing is that we all have faith and we turn to God together.
At the center of Alon is an uncompleted structure which will become Beit Alon, the House of Alon. Here you could feel the ideals of coexistence.
The idea is to have one place which would be the center for all community events, whether it includes the shul, the synagogue where the religious people and whoever else is interested is invited to come and join and celebrate with the services. And of course, right next to it, which should be and will be, please God, the community center, the social hall, the library, and of course classrooms for children's groups, and so forth and so on.
The reason the building is incomplete now is because the community ran out of funds and are seeking donors to be part of fulfilling this dream. In addition to the community itself, all parts of Israeli society meet and mingle at Ein Prat, the Israeli Academy for Leadership, which is located in Alon. The Academy has a number of educational programs. The pre-army program prepares its participants for the army with in-depth studies in order to understand Israeli, Jewish, and Western cultures. The students tour the country to connect with the land. They even learn navigation, survival techniques, and hiking. The students volunteer once a week, and in addition to the regular studies, they undergo courses to prepare them for army service, both physically and psychologically. But the flagship program of the Academy is actually the post-army program. Many institutes in Israel offer educational seminars before army service. Ein Prat sees the post-army, pre-life period as an important time for an internal, self-seeking process.
It's a program where people from all over Israeli society, from the coast and from the hills, from that secular and religious, everyone together, they get together after the army. It can be when they're between 22 and 29, before they go into life's voyage, before their career, before they build a family, before they go to university, and they get their personality captured. They get it together again, meaning they build their intellectual skills. After the army, they get excited about being an Israeli, about being a Zionist. Many times people after the army become cynical. They want to go away. They want to go to India for a year or two. Many of our students come here instead of India. Some come after India, some come before India, but what's in common, the common denominator of each and every one of them is that they're not that they're after, but they're before. They're before, they're big to create their life story. And they come here in order to try to remind, that they get excited about What is it out there that we're living for?
Ein Prat doesn't see the term leadership as something lofty and relevant only for official leaders and those who serve in high-ranking positions. Leadership is something relevant for each and every one of us.
The way we see leadership in a more modest way. Leadership means that everywhere you'll go, if you're a lawyer or a doctor or a politician or a carpenter or an athlete, you'll do whatever you can to make your surrounding a better place. And if you build a family, to be a good family man, that's leadership. Leadership means leading your life and trying to change your surrounding in order to make also your surroundings better.
The Academy now plans to let Jews from outside of Israel experience the process that the students go through at Ein Prat.
It seems like our program's matured. And today we're ready to address not only Israeli society, but the Jewish world. And we're hoping to offer this exciting program, not only for Army graduates, but for college graduates.
There's a renaissance going on in American Jewish society right now. There's a renaissance going on in Israeli society. And the idea basically is to bring those two renaissances together and see what happens.
Most programs, when they come to Israel, they're geographically in Israel. But sociologically, they're still in America.
Well, this is an opportunity for Americans who look up to Israeli society, are jealous in a certain sense of Israeli society, and there are Israelis who are also jealous, I mean that in a good way, of American Jewish society. And the idea is basically to put them together in an intensive experience. Bringing them together means over the text, over thinking about Jewish identity. Those questions that Israelis have, that young American Jews have, and the answers, when you bring those two kinds of ideas and perspectives together, you get a great answer.
The scenery, of course, serves as a major contributor to the special atmosphere in the Academy.
We're on the one hand 15 minutes from Jerusalem, which means the best lecturers in the world, and that's not an exaggeration, are accessible to our Academy. And on the other hand, we're in the desert, in the beautiful, beautiful desert that's inspiring.
From educating our future leaders, let's now go back in time. In a biblical tent adjacent to Alon, we meet a group who came for a biblical lunch.
But tradition tells me that I can look into your eyes, and if I see a shine in your eyes, I'll know that you've eaten enough.
We're at Genesis Land, a site that allows visitors to experience life as it was in biblical times. Actors and waiters wearing biblical garments greet the visitors, who sit down to eat and hear a biblical story from a reenactment of Abraham, our forefather.
You see, today I would wish to fulfill the mitzvah, the good deed of hospitality. Now this is meaning to bring a guest into my home. I understand that that's what I should do. And I'm always very happy when I see guests because it means I can fulfill this good deed. But I also say thank you to God for having brought you. Because if He doesn't bring you to my, let's say to the opening of my tent, can I bring you into my tent?
Genesis Land offers activities and creative workshops which recreate the patriarch's way of life.
It's fun, but it also teaches a lot. We have hospitality in Avram's tent, camel riding, art workshops, biblical meals, and we even hold family events on site.
And again, the scenery is the magic behind it all.
Let me tell you, 60% of our success is the location, the Genesis-like landscape, the Jordan Valley not far away. All we need is to open the Tanakh, the Bible, and look at the scenery, and then no words are necessary.
And here are some contact details for the places we met in our report. The internet site of Genesis Land is www.genesisland.co.il. Visit the Ein Prat Academy at www.einprat.org, or contact the community of Alon at al-on@zahav.net.il.